Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katy.
Let's talk Tri-State.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice, winner in the 2024 Best of the Tri-State contest.
Our first guest today, we have the owner of Franklin Equipment Rental, Rick Hammond. How are you, Rick?
I'm great. Good to be here.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you. This is my first time meeting you, so thank you for spending time with us this morning on Let's Talk Tri-State. Let's talk about equipment rental. Now, this is something I've only ever used one time, and I had to rent a miter saw. Is that the correct word
Yes.
I'm using?
Yep.
And that was the only time I had to use it, but I had a great experience. What kind of equipment can you rent from your store?
Mainly, we have a lot of lawn and garden and construction equipment. No longer do we have hand tools, hammers, trowels, concrete trowels, stuff like that. It's usually larger equipment.
Okay. And why would you encourage someone to rent and not buy?
One of the main reasons you rent, equipment's expensive. Literally, we have equipment up there that cost in excess of $100,000. And probably 30 pieces that run over $50,000. And the regular person can't afford to buy that piece of equipment for one-day use or for 4 hours. So renting is always a great option. Keeps your money in your pocket. Maintenance, I take care of all the maintenance. Breakdowns, I take care of all the breakdowns. All you have to do is take it out and use it.
If I were doing a construction project, which I'm not, but if I were, and I came to you and I had to rent a bunch of equipment, would you teach me how to use it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every day I have to run through absolutely everything that people take. They don't know.
Now, do you also have to do that from a liability standpoint? You have to go through a checklist, or is that up to you?
I don't have to do that on most of the stuff. On lifts, we have to give you a quick course. A lot of people, if you're renting a lift one time in your life, you obviously don't know how to run a lift. Mm-hmm. So we teach you how to do that. I'll take one, I'll deliver them to the jobs and give you a complete rundown, how to run it. A lot of times right in the yard, sometimes in the showroom, I'll teach you how to run. And of course, a lot of times people don't listen. Right. And they'll tell you, I'm not listening. Oh. So they'll take it out, and a half hour later, you're getting a phone call.
Well, do you ever go to the jobs with your customers to help them through it, or?
Absolutely.
You will?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
I'll give you an example. Crumble
Please.
Cookie. Mm-hmm. They came in, rented some equipment.
In Chambersburg.
In Chambersburg.
New one, yes.
And they rented a little bit. They didn't rent a lot. I went in. They said, we need a piece of equipment to set our ovens. Our ovens are 650 pounds. We don't know how to set the ovens on top of the stands. So I thought, well, it's 5 o'clock. I'll go in here and see what they came up with. The two owners, brother-in-laws, were almost in tears because they couldn't get the oven set. Mm-hmm. I was in there, I think, till maybe 9 o'clock, helping them get their oven set. I did get some free cookies.
But I
mean, we do that kind of stuff all the time. I've had people that can't, 25 years in construction, I've had people that can't get a piece of equipment in their door. So I'll have to go to their house and take the door off, get the piece in, and go back 2 days later and put the door back on for them.
Is this something that you charge for? Or
No, we don't charge for that.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a customer service. That seems to be the name of the business now. It's just service.
What's the most common piece of equipment that you rent out lately? Maybe it's
lately lifts, aerial lifts, boom lifts, scissor lifts. In fact, today to show up here, I'm in tractor trailer because I have another lift sitting 10 minutes away. I have to go pick up and take back. We'll do some days 4, 5, 6 lifts a day I have to deliver.
If I needed to, forgive me, this is not my area of expertise. What would be a project I would rent a lift for?
Trimming your trees.
Okay.
Painting your windows, or doing some roof work.
if I needed a lift, would you transport it for me, or am I responsible to pick it up and bring it
No,
back?
these things are too big to transport, most of them. Now, scissor lifts, we have trailers for those, are smaller machines. We have them that'll just come in a regular door. We send a lot to churches. The bigger stuff we deliver. We deliver up to 100 miles.
Wow. Now, when I think of buying a car, one thing comes to mind, other than the obvious, the price, but is the amount of paperwork. Now, obviously, there's liability that goes along with when you are renting someone's equipment. You want to take care of it as best you can, and if anything goes wrong with it, if you break it, obviously you break it, you bought it type mentality, I'm sure. And even though I know things happen, but how long is the process, not counting any tutorials, walkthroughs that you have to do to renting it? Is it vary based on the equipment?
No, if you're a new customer, I can have you, if there's nobody else there, and sometimes we'll get, 10 people standing in a line in there, but I can have you out the door in 5-6 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I was not thinking that at all.
Yes.
Wow.
We don't.
Okay.
Would you be willing to, if somebody wanted to start a project and they were just kind of in the beginning stages and they had no idea what kind of equipment to use and where to go, are you willing to help them to figure out how to do the project start to finish?
Oh, yeah. That's what, 25 years in commercial construction, I'll go out to their house and tell them exactly what they need. Take the equipment out, show them exactly how to run it. I know I have a landscape business. I can teach them the right way to do pavers, retaining walls. Yeah, we're free with all the information we give them.
This is really interesting.
Yeah.
I would be so afraid. That I would do something wrong and break the equipment. I'm assuming as a customer there's insurance.
Yes, we charge a damage waiver. It's 10%. It covers everything but customer abuse. Of course, it doesn't cover if you poke a hole in a tire. But if anything happens to the equipment, my insurance covers it. But with my deductibles, actually, I have to cover everything. So, like, I'll give you an example. I just got a new lift in from JLG. I got it in on a Thursday. Tuesday morning, it went out, and a guy dropped a tree on it. Oof. He said it was an accident. I understand it was definitely an accident. He didn't try it. But the insurance company looks at that like that's customer abuse. Now, when I fix a piece of equipment that you've broken, however you broke it, accident or on purpose, we don't mark up any material. What I pay is what you pay, and I don't charge labor. My thinking is it's already hard enough for you to not only rent the equipment, but then pay for the repairs. So I know a lot of guys, you're paying 50, 60% markup, $150 an hour labor. We charge no labor. So he crushed the basket, the control box. I got a friend of mine that works at JLG, runs their service for him, and he told me, bring it down to the shop, you're looking at $5,000. I do all the work myself. That man was out the door for right around $2,000. So stuff happens.
Do you ever have a potential customer who comes in and they have a lot of questions, and perhaps the questions that they're asking, the way they're asking them, may lead you to believe this person probably should not be tackling this project? Do you, and not because, not when I say do you just let them go do it, not, I'm sure if you felt that their life was in danger if they were to do this project, you would tell them, but do you in any way sometimes say, you may want to hire a professional?
I have done that a lot. Yes, I had, it must have been like a 95-year-old man came in, he couldn't hardly walk, and he wanted to take a stump grinder. And I explained it to him, I'm sorry, I'm not going to rent it to you. You can pay the bill, and I'll give you some names of guys that can run it for you, but I cannot allow you to run this piece of equipment.
How long have you been in business?
I think in about a month and a half, it'll be 25 years.
Oh my goodness. Do you find that you have a lot of repeat customers over the years?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet.
Yep. We rely on our repeat customers.
How big is the store?
I have 2 buildings up there. We're maybe 5,000 square feet. but a couple acres around us. That a lot of the equipment, the excavation equipment, lifts are all stored outside.
How do you decide what equipment you need to purchase to bring into the store?
25 years ago, I was still in construction, and I said, if something I had broke, and I need one today, and that's the equipment I bought. Now we have, one day a man came in, he wanted to rent a grinder. I rented him a 7-inch grinder. He was a mason. He went out the door. I checked the computer. It had been 13 years since it went out. That was on a Saturday. We're no longer open on Saturdays. Monday morning, I went in and tore 50 foot of shelves out and got rid of all the little stuff. Harbor Freight had moved to town,
Disposable one-use tools.
Yep. So it's sometimes it's not easy. I've bought stuff that people have begged for, and it'll sit there for 2 years and never move, and I just sell it.
And you said right now your most popular is the lift.
Lifts. Excavation equipment is good. Mini excavators, skid loaders, they're pretty heavy right now.
I don't know what these
You don't know what they are. Yeah, a bobcat. You've seen those.
Yes.
Yes. That's a skid loader. Yes.
And just for those of you who may not be watching on YouTube, Katy is using her hand in a scooping motion.
Well, that's yes, I know that.
And the mini excavators, they scoop this way, like a backhoe. Yes.
Okay. I got that.
Yeah.
I know the basics.
Here's a picture. Let's draw this picture for
I know
you.
hammer, screwdriver.
Yeah.
That's where my expertise kind of ends. But you're speaking Tiny's language because he loves doing home projects.
So if you see Katy come through your doors, this is where
rent.
you would enact the. You might want to hire.
You might want to hire Tiny.
Yeah. Well.
He's not doing anything this weekend.
So
handyman.
hire implies that there would be an exchange of goods for services, or currency for services from her, and there just would not be.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's the friendship tax.
Well, a hot dinner.
From her?
Yeah.
It won't be hot or
How
dinner.
about a gift card to McDonald's? One thing that we do a lot of is lawn and garden equipment. Aerators, dethatchers, overseeders. They're good right now this time of year, spring, fall. Bed edgers. We do a lot of bed edging. So I used to have guys up there that I would actually just send out if you couldn't do the job. I would send them out and they would do the job for you. You just paid them.
Yeah.
And
you don't have that.
I don't
service
do those anymore. No.
I like that service.
I may be visiting with you in the spring because my yard has just always been a nightmare as far as being uneven, and we had so much sedlage that our Bilco doors, there's probably about 12 inches down, and you can see down under the Bilco doors. So they came back, they filled that part with stone, but I'd like to be able to get it where it's graded up to the level of the ledge of the Bilco doors. And it sounds like you would have the equipment that would help me to do that.
I have the equipment, and I deal with a lot of local companies. I can give you a list of names of somebody that could haul dirt in. I can give you a list of names somebody that could cut your trees down.
See, this is where I think it's service, not just after the sale, but even during the sale. That's great that you do that, because sometimes we hear, oh, what will you watch a YouTube video? Which I'm a lot of stuff that I do, I've YouTube taught, and I've learned, and I've made my mistakes, and I've electrocuted myself, and you learn not to do that again. But it is, I just need to go rent a lift. Well, yes, but there's more to it than that.
Right.
And I love that you have this list of trusted vendors that you would say, look, here, yes, I'll rent you the lift, but you may want to look into, if you need help, if you get into a pinch, you're lost, you don't know where you're going, and you need a map, these are the guys that you would want to call for that particular project. Because a lot of times it is I'm now conceding the point. I'm not going to be able to do this. Who was that Rick said? And it'd be nice to have that Rolodex of people, and you have that, obviously.
Yes.
Because some of them are probably coming and renting the equipment from you anyway.
Every day, yes.
That's great. I think that's an awesome service.
Big companies, little companies, we've done probably 40 states. Not delivered equipment there. But I've had people come in from California, Washington, working local, doing local jobs for certain companies, and we'll supply their equipment for them.
Are you from this area?
Yes,
So
Chambersburg.
So you really, and that's another thing that sets you apart too, is all these trusted people that you have. I mean, you know them because you're from this area. And you said you worked construction for 25 years. What was your role in construction?
Well, I was the owner, had R&H Construction. We were steel erectors. And I know you've seen some of our work.
Is that the football team, Katy?
I figured.
It was R&H Construction, Rick and Hammond, Valley Gas, and we were steel erectors. Valley Gas, the old Hal Lowry Ford, which turned to Hamilton Hyundai. Now it's somebody else's Hyundai. We set the steel there for my brother-in-law's company. A lot of work in Letterkenny.
So yeah, you definitely have experience with the big equipment. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
And you're married, right?
Yes.
Does your wife always have a project for you to work on?
Yes, absolutely. I don't even know his wife. Yes.
I was just thinking if I had a husband who was, skilled like you are, or tiny, it would be just, hey, can we work on this weekend? By we, I mean you. Can we work on this weekend? Can we take care of this? I would have so many jobs.
My house was built in 1941. I guess that was like 2 years before I was born. And there's always a project.
Yep, never ends. Whether you build or you buy, it never ends.
Yeah. I can spend, with 8 acres, and I spend literally hours and hours and hours a week mowing grass.
Oh,
I'm sure,
but
yeah.
Do you love it? I know so many men just
I
find it
like-
so therapeutic.
I don't mind mowing grass, but there's always something else. As soon as you get under, something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can spend hours weed whacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you call your employees and say, look, I need to get a team down here. Just weed whack this.
Well, I have an ex-employee that we have a nice property. My son's sister-in-law said, can I use your property for my wedding? And of course, we took our actual 3-day, every 3-year vacation, and then it rains for 12 days in a row. And she had a great big tent set up in the yard, and I'm mowing in the rain, just trying to get the grass short enough for her to have a nice wedding. Yeah, I mean,
Never ends.
yeah, it never ends.
Did you do any more weddings after that?
No,
That was
that
the
was
one
just
and done.
2 weeks ago.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we took a vacation, and it's the first time ever. We just closed the doors to the shop. I've never done that in 25 years.
Well, you earned it.
Yeah,
Think you're
and I was 6 days a week. I'm usually 4 or 5 in the morning till whenever you get done at night. 6 days a week for 20 years. Finally, right before COVID, we decided we were going to close on Saturdays. Best move I ever made.
Yeah,
I
I
bet.
bet.
Preserve your sanity when you
Yeah.
can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up here, Rick, where can people find you? Tell us about your website, hours, where are you located?
Well, I can throw a plug in there for my sister-in-law. She does my website for me. It's FranklinEquipmentRental.net. My email is info@FranklinEquipmentRental.com. Of course, you can always get us on the phone, 717-709-1080. Our phones, they're internet phones, so they're on at 7 in the morning and they shut off at 5 in the evening.
There you go.
Well,
Good.
I know you will have somebody coming in your doors here pretty soon. My best good buddy, Tiny. That's
What?
you.
Well, good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, well, yeah, come spring. I'll
And
be
I
there.
was
Yep.
actually I've been thinking about buying a house and maybe one that needs a little work done and having some projects. So sounds like something fun for the two of you to help me out with. Yeah.
I can hook him up and he can come over and do all the work you want him to do.
I don't know
He's
how I
thrilled.
fit into this.
He's thrilled.
You should leave me out of it.
Thanks so much, Rick. Thanks for being here.
Oh,
This
you're
is
welcome.
nice.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up, we're going to take a look at news and sports, and it's all powered by Virtus Men's Health in Hagerstown. There's telehealth available, and you can find them online at virtusmenshealth.com.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.